Good morning, Ebenezer and James and Verna. Good morning.
Good morning, Mary. It's actually Chanel today. Ebenezer's on vacation.
Let me just.
Hi, Mary.
Who's that guy you got in the background there?
Some guy just came out of nowhere. He's a wedding crasher, right?
Excuse
He's a
me?
meeting crasher. He's the meeting crashers.
Yeah, you know?
Who's that guy on the screen? Oh, that's James.
James, yeah.
He looks like one of those January 6 guys.
Oh, Lord.
The White House
Especially with the
crasher.
picture he's got in his background, huh? How are you, Chanel?
Good. How are you?
Good.
How was your holiday?
It was good. Quiet. You know, we had a nice dinner. My daughter and my grandson came, and my
That's
daughter
good.
cooked. My daughter cooked part of it, and I cooked part of it, and so it was
Oh.
nice.
That's very nice.
Keep trying to convince her that it's time for her to do the whole thing, but Mom, Mom, you have to make the pies, Mom.
Morning all.
I'm like, oh Lord.
Oh, that's sweet though. That's sweet.
Yeah. So anyway. Now, what I usually ask Ebenezer to do is, as people come on, is to promote them to panelists, because it just makes life easier in the long run.
Okay. So everyone from attendees, panelists.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Chanel, can I ask you a question for available?
Yeah, of course.
Being as how you have the boss somewhere behind you, is there an updated committee list yet? They were supposed to be getting that together, because I have people still on my list that I don't think are members officially of the committee. I keep having to mark them absent, which, you know, is not a good thing.
Yeah. Let me ask.
Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning, Mary. Nice to see
Thank
you.
you for joining us.
Thank you.
We're waiting for a few more people to come on board. Okay. It's not quite time yet.
Mary, he will work on it today, and sometime before the end of the day, you will receive a new list.
I hope so. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Miriam.
Morning. I saw I was on mute, but now I just unmuted myself. How you doing, everybody?
Hanging in there.
Okay, good.
So what we strive to do.
Yeah.
Oh. Hello. Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Dory. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Mary?
Okay.
Hi, Maria.
How you doing, Dory?
Good. Hi, Miriam.
Let me see. Oh, we have a lot of people
Yeah.
already. Good, good.
Good morning, Ashley.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
morning, Mary.
Good morning, Lillian.
Mary, the meeting for January is for the 5th, right?
Right.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Diane.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rosie. Oh, man. Can't talk now. I'm on a meeting, okay? Bye. If my landline will be quiet. Who else did I see? Deandra, hi. Good morning, Dee. And good morning, Ashton.
Good morning, Mary.
I thought I saw Toby trying to get
You
on
did.
too. but-
Actually, it was me because I have access to her Zoom account, so I always have to change my name.
Got it.
I apologize for that.
Got it. I did get an email from her that she'd try to join later, but
Okay.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Where are my other committee members? Let me give it 2 more minutes. There we go. Yosef, good morning. Dory, do you know anything about Richard? Is he?
He wasn't sure he was gonna come in to the meeting, but let me double check.
Oh, okay.
I can push this.
Hey, Carol.
Hi.
Saw your name, so I knew you were on board.
Yes.
All right, I think in the interest of time, I want to get this meeting started. Meeting called to order at 10:38 a.m. I'm sorry, I just too many papers today. Okay, there we go. No, that's not the one I want. Okay. Welcome, everybody. I appreciate all of you coming to the meeting and joining us. I don't have a presenter, but we have an agenda that will certainly fill our time today. Let's do introductions. I think most of us know each other, but there's a couple new people on board, so let's do that. Committee members, Maria, if you could, let me start. I'm sorry. I'm Mary Anderson. I'm the chair of this aging committee, and also co-chair of WICOA. Maria?
Hi, good morning. I'm Maria Luna, member of this committee, also a member of many of the community-based seniors organizations such as Riverstone, ARC, then also Esperanza Center, and so on and so on. Too many to name. So I'm glad to see so many familiar faces each month. This is a great committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Let me just throw in too that I am the president of STAR Board of Directors, STAR Senior Center. So, Dory.
Good morning, everyone. Dory Garcia, Executive Director, ARC 16 for Washington, Inc., Treasurer of WICOA, and a public member of this committee.
Thank you. James? James Bosley?
Yes, hi, I am a member of this committee and as well as the Land Use Committee. And I'm involved with Uptown Theater Company called Up. And nice to see everybody again.
Thank you. Yosef?
Hi, Yosef Kalinsky. I said rabbi, I'll change that. I am the assistant chair, and my day job is at Yeshiva University. I'm happy to be here with everyone and to try to aspire to be like some of my co-members here of the committee.
Thank you. Carol? You're muted. There you go. Okay.
Carol Weeks, Dykeman Senior Center Director, Dykeman AOS Director, and happy to be a public member of this committee.
Thank you, Carol. Okay, I think that's all of the committee members. Stephanie, could you introduce yourself, please?
Star Senior Center, and I'm happy.
I'm sorry, you didn't come through clearly. Could you repeat?
Yeah, my name is Stephanie Cruz, and I'm the Programming Data Manager at Star Senior Center, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Liliette?
Liliet Lopez, Night Connects. We connect people with any disability, any age to services and resources, and glad to be here with you.
Thank you. Ashley?
Good morning, everyone. Ashley Carlos, social worker / outreach worker for the Violence Intervention Prevention Program at Neighborhood Shop.
Thank you. Diane?
Good morning, everyone. Diane Ashley. I'm Chief Marketing and Communications Officer for MJHS Health System, and I'm here representing both Isabella and MJHS Health System, and joined by my colleagues from across the system on the call who'll be introducing themselves. And it's a pleasure to see everybody this morning.
Thank you. Ashton?
Good morning. One of those colleagues Diane mentioned. I'm happy to be here, MJHS Veteran Liaison. Nice to see everybody.
Thank you. Dee?
Morning, Dee Hernandez. I'm the program director here at the Center for Those Living Well at the Y.
Thank you. Miriam?
Miriam Rabner, Outreach Coordinator and Cultural Sensitivity Liaison for MJHS Hospice and Palliative Care.
Thank you. Julie?
Good morning, Shuli Gutman, Director of Mariah Senior Center.
Thank you. Rosie?
Rosie Bernard from MJHS Hospice and Palliative Care. Thank you.
Thank you. Verna?
Good morning, Verna Arthur with New York Aging. That's the Department for the Aging. We are now NYC Aging.
Thank you. Cheyenne?
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Cheyenne. I'm here on behalf of DOHMH at the Harlem Health Action Center. Great to be here.
Thank you. And Chanel?
Hi, I'm Chanel Peniagua. I'm the Community Associate at Community Board 12.
Thank you. All right. I need to interject some very sad news that we learned yesterday, and that is the death of one of our community board members. She's been a long time member. Her name is Sally Fisher. And
wow.
Yeah. For those of you that know her, you know what she's done in the community. For those of you that don't know her, I just want to read a little something that was sent out from the community board yesterday. Sally was a member of the Business Development Committee, the Licensing Committee, Health and Environment, Parks and Cultural Affairs Committee, as well as the treasurer on the board throughout her tenure on the community board. Sally was a powerful and persistent advocate for the environment, cultural affairs, parks, community gardening, and mental health in our community, as well as an accomplished photographer. She also cared deeply about education, public transit, and infrastructure. There are a few areas of public life about which Sally was not knowledgeable and actively engaged. Because of Sally's tireless efforts, we have a federally recognized trail in Inwood Hill Park, robust programming in Inwood Hill Park, a cleaner shoreline around the perimeter of Community District 12, thriving community gardening at the Ring and the Riley Levin Children's Gardens, and more pollinating monarch butterflies. Sally was also a staunch supporter of the arts in Washington Heights and Inwood through the Northern Manhattan Arts and Culture Initiative, Inwood Artworks, and the Northern Manhattan Arts Alliance. Her efforts in the arena of mental health also were critical in fighting to save and return to the community the psychiatric beds at the Allen Hospital, a fight that continues to this day. It is especially poignant that the community gathered less than 3 weeks ago to honor Sally's many accomplishments and ongoing efforts with a tree planting, the presentation of a proclamation from the Manhattan Borough President, and the presentation of the inaugural award from New York City Park Stewardship Division for exemplary park stewardship. They plan to give this new award annually in recognition of her stellar service. That is very sad, very sudden news, totally unexpected. I don't know the details of her death. I don't know if she's been sick. I know she's been missing a couple of meetings recently, but that's all I know at this time.
Very sad.
So if I can ask for a moment of silence in memory of Sally. Thank you. She'll be
Mary, Mary, this is Maria. Maybe I should.
Go ahead.
Since I am the longest serving members on the Community Board 12, and I think since 1982 I've been a member there. And fortunately for me, I met Sally there, a woman who was respectful, decent, never have a nasty argument. She always stuck to the point, work with everybody. I wish some of our membership at the Community Board 12 will behave the way she did along the years that she was a member of the board. She's going to be missed because of her leadership, as you just heard, all the things that she was involved in. So I just wish that whoever replaces her and the Community Board have the same goals as she did, and will make everybody in our community proud, as we are proud to have worked with her for so many years. Just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Anyone else? Richard.
With apologies for being late, I would sign on to everything I just heard, and just want to talk also about Sally's passion and focus. She put a lot into making things happen that wouldn't have happened if she hadn't done her work, her leadership. And yeah, as Maria said, she did that in a caring and connecting way, in listening to what other people said. And that listening skill is certainly something that I wish we had a whole lot more of at the Community Board.
Agreed. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? All right. Seeing no further hands, let us in Sally's memory move the agenda. I have the next thing on the agenda is a letter requesting to continue virtual meetings for the Aging Committee. Was drafted, edited, and sent out. It's gone out to the borough president. It's gone out to the mayor. It has gone out to all of the local electeds. So maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't happen, but we have sent our plea. Thank you, Joseph, for being the inventor of that letter.
Sounds like she's frozen, right? That's what happens when you say nice things about me.
Oh, the screen is frozen and not that Mary is frozen.
Dark for me.
I think it's just Mary.
I think she logged off. She'll probably try to log back on again.
I guess while we're waiting, I'll just bring up something that's going to be later in the meeting, or typically raised later, is thinking about ideas for future presentations. If you have a few seconds now to jog your brain, to think, to talk to each other while we wait for Mary to get back on, I think that would be helpful for us to planning next month or even next year's agenda. If we have bigger topics that maybe take more than one presentation to try to tackle together. If anyone has any ideas to think about that, how we could collaborate on things, now would be a good time to do that.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I will. We had initially talked about doing a presentation on LGBT issues and aging for this fall. I think it makes sense to look at March or April for that. It certainly is not forgotten. There were some reasons that it didn't move at that time. And Mary is in the loop there.
Are there any more details since we last spoke about this, Richard, that you can share that makes sense to mention now in terms of the planning?
Not really.
Okay, so it needs more time.
There were a couple of issues that led me to pull up short on the planning, but there really is nothing other than doing the work and making it happen at this point.
Okay. Are there any other topics related to, I guess, business moving forward in our senior centers 2023, hopefully inching out of this COVID era, and what that means in terms of things that we've learned or things that we were changing, or anything else that would be either something to discuss collectively or to have a presentation on, or just trying to think about other things that might be relevant or
This is Maria. I have heard about the increase in COVID again, and we need to make sure that the elderly, the people who are aging or mature, I call myself mature to make me feel better. To see how we are going to be dealing with that, because we see so many people with no protections. The last booster, the number 5, is available. We need to make sure that everybody is encouraged to have that taken. We just can't just fall asleep on the, and see a crisis coming up. So maybe we can get the voice over from all the senior centers to make sure that all the seniors are protected and continue to be protected. We cannot just, take things for someone else to take care of. We have a responsibility to do that. So maybe we can just have.
And the medical experts are warning of this time of year where people do get together with family. We just had Thanksgiving, we have holidays coming up. It's colder outside, people are more indoors. Looks like maybe we may have our fearless leader back. That's definitely true, but I don't think we need to have a presentation on that. I think that's just more of everyone who's here, right? Reinforcing what they know is best practices.
Well, we had to let everybody know when that booster is available. How I think that everyone qualifies for that. It just we just cannot let that thing go by.
Maybe I'm just thinking, Mary, I took the liberty of trying to raise the topic of future agendas and ideas. Okay. So maybe I'll say the following, Maria, which is we did have at least 1 or 2 excellent presentations from health professionals about COVID and dealing with things and so on and so forth. Maybe it's time to bring somebody back to talk about how do they view what does 2023 predictions look like in terms of what we need to be aware of and how we should, like in terms of what Maria is saying. Are there things that are more relevant for now for 2023? Whether it's refreshers or whether there's new information, that the scientists are still studying this stuff that they want to share with us.
Well, the reason why I bring that up is because two people, including one of my relatives, just had COVID, and I said, "What?"
It's still there. It is still there. Yeah. Were you going to say something, Richard?
Yeah. Excuse me, there was a distraction here for a second. Yeah, I think it would be real good to do that. We just got we're hearing a lot of this, and I think all of us are. We just got some particularly good updates on COVID, how it's hitting seniors, what's happening with vaccines. It came to us from Ryan Health, and I think it's materials they forwarded that had come from a major health foundation. I'm glad to forward those materials to Mary for distribution to the committee. I'd also like to suggest, if we're thinking about a presentation, Ryan Health might be a good presenter. They have
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
We at our senior center, they've been handling the COVID boosters and the
Ryan, say it again. What's the name of the
Ryan Health? And they've also within the last roughly year, is it, Dory, that Ryan Health has opened in Washington Heights to complement the 5 or 6 other sites they have around the city. Mm-hmm. I think they've got good information. They're a good health provider, and I think it'd be good for us to get to know them a little bit, for this committee to get to know them a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, so Richard, send me all the information that you have. The other thing I've been there's one other venue that I've been talking to people about presenting is Alzheimer's research at Columbia. And Dr. Honig actually has agreed to present in January. So, hopefully we'll have that on board as well, because there's a lot going on with that research. There's a lot of memory studies going on. I myself am involved in like 4 different memory studies, which involve, different things that they're looking at and trying to see, there are contributing factors. So, you know, he actually did a presentation to this new exercise program at the Armory that's Columbia's involved with. Seniors Aim High at the Armory, if anybody has heard about it. And it was an excellent presentation. You know, it was an overall picture of what's going on with the research at this point. And they're willing to do actually about 2 or 3 presentations. It doesn't have to be 1 month after the other, but so that they can delve a little bit deeper into, you know, what's going on. So, but I am trying to I'm setting that up for January. But, you know, the COVID certainly is, you know, like you say, it's not going away. It's still happening. So, Richard, is that a new hand or an old hand?
Oh, I'm an old hand.
Okay.
But my is a new hand.
Maria, go ahead.
Okay, because there is now that you mentioned about Alzheimer, there is a survey being done, an invitation by, I did a study with Columbia University doctors recently, and we put together a study for people who can join. This study, they give like $30. They have to register. I have a number. It's a confidential survey that is going on. It's really important to get the word out. The survey is done in both languages, Spanish and English. So if, you know, I can give a telephone number here that people can call and join, and we need this in, you know, as soon as possible. It's been done, you know, up here. A company called, let me just see, is Studio Ideal Study. It's called, it's an AVT Associate. So they're helping us here in Washington Heights and Inwood with this study. So should I give a telephone number now or later?
You can do the telephone number now if, and also if you have a flyer for that?
Well, I have cards. They've been mailing cards
yeah.
to everyone that had gone through, you know, to the hospital, you know, all the Ames clinic and so on and so on. But they haven't received too many responses because the card is a tiny little, like 4 by, you know, like
yeah.
small people don't really pay attention to that, but it's important. And also there is, it's 30 minutes. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't require too much information, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, so it's an 888 number.
Okay.
802-4179. 888-802-4179. And,
okay.
You know, so they can, you know, people join on this study. It's extremely important. Alzheimer's, it seems that everybody that we know have one relative or another suffering from this condition. Thank you, Maddie.
Okay. Liliette.
Just wanted to make a comment in what Maria raised about COVID. I do outreach for Manhattan and Brooklyn for my program. And I'm noticing a lot of organizations were asking, you know, to be tested or to wear masks or show your vaccine card. And a lot of them are now no longer doing it, which is a little scary. So I just wanted to, you know, definitely agree with Maria on that. I'm not noticing that they ask for anything now, not even to mask. And I'm definitely do not remove my mask at all.
Money.
So, but it's definitely something to worry about. Thank you.
I agree. And I agree, you know, it's not mandatory in public transportation either. And, you know, but I'm noticing that probably 90% of people on a bus, not more, probably more than 90%, are wearing masks still. So, you know, that's a good thing, but, you know, that it's not required is not so great. Okay, I see Miriam. The hand
Speaking
up,
of,
yes.
speaking of public transportation, I know that the MTA is introducing and has introduced the Omni system with the with the cardless rides on buses and subways. I was wondering if it would be helpful if we brought somebody in to explain to us and how the application process works, and especially for reduced fare cardholders, how and if it will affect them, and when to expect the changes.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a
So can you explain what is
thoughtful
it?
idea.
It's a new way to access the, it's a new card? Is it, what, I'm not sure what it is.
It's different than the Metro card.
Okay.
The Metro cards are going to be phased out, is what my understanding is. And
Yes.
Omni will be coming, you know, to be full time.
Yeah,
But
surely you know what it is,
They're
Mark?
phasing them in, and they've also started to phase them in for half fares, you know, for.
Yeah, we've
seniors.
sent out an email to all our seniors already offering assistance in this. It's fairly simple. They could probably do it on their own, but some of them are a little bit nervous. Basically, their reduced fare Metro card is going to be phased out. They have the option of receiving an Omni Tap card, which has not yet been issued, has not yet gone into issue, but will be being issued in the beginning of 23. They'll be able to finish off their regular one, and then they'll put their money on their Omni Tap card, which will be a reduced fare Omni Tap card. Or they have the opportunity, excuse me, to sign up to have only, they can only choose one contactless credit card of their choosing that they already own, and having that act like a reduced fare Metro card. They will not be able to use more than one. Once they designate one, I guess you could change it, but once they designate one, that's the one they should use unless they change it, and it will only take off their reduced fare. It'll register with the system. So that's something they can do already now. The Omni card does not exist, but the signing up for a reduced fare charge on their contactless credit card, they can do already now. And if you know of any seniors that need assistance with it, Mariah is providing that.
For how many, I'm sorry, but how many people are going around with credit cards on their things? I mean, this is really making things a little more complicated for everyone. I know that we do have a card, like I have a senior card that I carry with me, but I mean, we are talking about a little more complex. We are talking about financial things, records that have to be kept, or things like that. I think it needs a little more. I see a lot of younger people using when they go into the bus that has that little device next to the you know, the little chute with the card goes to, and it looks very easy, but some of our people are not going to be too comfortable with that type of system. I think we need to explain, you know, to them how it works.
I agree with you, Maria, that it's a lot of it is an education piece, but I will tell you that for those that don't have a credit card, many of them do have a credit card. So in some ways, it's one less thing to carry instead of carrying a reduced fare Metro card and a credit card. If they're already carrying a credit card, it's one less thing. If they like to keep it separate, this Omni card, it is basically the same thing, except instead of needing to swipe, which actually takes a lot more physical dexterity, they just need to tap. And the tap system in Europe, they're already using it. So it'll be the same reduced. If they want to stick with a reduced fare card, a separate card, they will be able to do that shortly. And that will be just a tap card. So they don't have to get it exactly in the system.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Change is scary. I get that.
No. I mean, when you mention something, you said something. I think since we don't have really a set agenda, and I think this is an open forum, what you just said it really bothers me a little, because you just said something like this is being used in Europe. Europeans have a different way of life that we have here in New York. And the same thing with bicycle. Everybody's riding a bicycle. You don't need a car. You don't need that. And this complicated thing especially for the people who are mature, like I call,
But
ourselves.
it's less complicated, Maria. Instead of swiping it, you're tapping. It's a card. The same
No, that's right.
card.
That's right. I get it. But it's just like there is more information and more things that are people getting into. And we are getting older, our minds are not getting, easier to deal with new things.
Agree. Change
That's
is hard.
Tell me about
I
it.
sure agree with that, Maria. 100%. I'm like, Omni? I don't know now. But anyway, okay, I'll
that's
see what I can do
important.
about
That's really
getting somebody in
important.
to talk to us about it. Because I'm also on the Traffic and Transportation Committee.
No,
so-
I'm saying, it looks like we're not going to
Yeah.
have a choice. We're going to have to make a decision sooner or later. Is that what you're saying, Julie?
Like like we said, like a bicycle, they pushing bicycles all over the place, and motor electric, bike and things like that. We need eyes in the front and on the back, because you don't know who is going to hit you in one side or the other. I mean, this is
right on that.
I'm talking about, no young people, and that we need to protect ourselves, and we need all these changes are really, for some people a little confusing, for others none. And I'm not just putting down the seniors. I mean, we are bright people. We are people who are ready to, but we have to be careful how they push us into something. So anyway, I only carry one credit card anyway, in case.
Okay, Maria, I've got a couple other hands here. Verna?
You're speaking about presentations, so I'm saying if you have not already done one of these, I figure invite someone from NYPD to do a scam alert presentation. If it hasn't happened, because there seems to be a whole lot of new stuff that's popping up trying to scam people into getting their identity and their money. So just a suggestion in terms of NYPD making a presentation, if you haven't done one before.
Yeah, and probably what we could do is combine that with the DA's office. Because they've
Yes,
done
yes.
presentations for us on
Correct.
scams also, so if we're gonna have,
Sure.
get all the scams talked about at one time, that would be great. Liliet, you have a new hand up?
No,
Oh, okay.
let me see. Let me know if it's down. Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, great. I just wanted to acknowledge that today is World AIDS Day. And, we continue to hear more and more about what's going on with that. And, improvements in terms of people living longer, people living healthier lives with AIDS, treatments and research that has gone on. I don't know if anybody else wants to add anything to that. Richard?
Say what? Forgive me, I just stepped away to deal with a non-crisis and may have missed where we are.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was just saying that today is World AIDS Day. And, just talked a little bit about that. You have your hand up though, Richard. That's why I was calling your name.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I think we could do many, many meetings on that.
Yeah.
For better or worse, as a person who is also personally a senior, the issues of AIDS have been there pretty much throughout my adult years and through the years of most of the people on this call. Hard to know what to say, to recognize the fear, the lack of knowledge early on, the appreciation for a community that in that vacuum of knowledge and some genuine lack of caring coming from Washington and many other places took some responsibility for turning that around. It's still there. People are still not making 100% smart decisions, but the science is moving forward. A little bit painful to deal with AIDS, COVID, and a few others in a lifetime, but we all have. I think our sister committee, Health and Human Services, is probably doing something special on their agenda tonight in recognition of World AIDS Day. They usually use their December meeting for a report from scientific leadership at Columbian Presbyterian on this. And it may make for, a very interesting segment tonight for anyone who has the time to do it.
Interestingly enough, I don't see it on their agenda. I was just glancing at it. You're right, that usually is done at the Health and Environment Committee.
Is there a staff person on right now?
Yes, Chanel. But I'm saying I have, I printed out the agenda because I plan to attend that meeting. But I don't see it on their agenda.
Okay. Is that something Chanel could do some quick information gathering on?
I'm sorry,
Well,
which meeting?
Oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's at the beginning of it's before the general. Okay, you're absolutely right, Richard. It is at the top of the agenda under opening remarks. It is there. So they will be discussing that tonight. I missed the top part of it. Okay. Sorry, Chanel. Found the answer.
Okay, great.
Okay. So that meeting is at 7 tonight. If anybody's interested, I know Diane, you usually attend that meeting. Yes.
Yeah, yes, and I thought it was 6:30. It's at 7 tonight?
Oh, it's at 6:30. You're right. Yeah. It used to be at 7.
Yeah, I will be on.
Okay.
I'm sure there will also be a fair amount of time that was unexpected when that agenda was put out on discussing the
Sally.
passing of Sally.
Right, right. Yeah. Okay. From the senior center directors, is there anything that we need to talk about at this meeting while Verna is on board? You know, there were some issues brought up at the last meeting, having some difficulties, and
I'll go, Mary. The only thing I would say is that a lot of the centers are not contracted to continue giving out grab-and-go meals, us being one of them. And DFTA has set a hard and fast drop dead date of December 30th. So as of December 30th, centers will not be offering grab-and-go meals. We have been offering grab-and-go dinners since we reopened after the pandemic. And because it's grab-and-go, we're gonna have to bring it to an end. But we'll continue to serve congregate lunch. And what we're allowing the members to do is if they want to take the food home with them, they can bring a Tupperware and pack it up themselves, but we will not be offering grab-and-go meals for them to come and take prepackaged. That's really the only update from us over here. Some of the other centers are contracted for grab-and-go and they will continue to serve grab-and-go.
right.
Would that be a permanent thing or just a temporary?
According to DFTA, based on older adults, the act, congregate meals are what is supposed to be being served. So they will not allow us to continue to serve food to go.
Okay.
So they also are pushing They're also pushing to get members to come back to the centers, which kind of grab and go contradicts that initiative.
Unless you have it in your contract, they're not allowing us to do it at all. So that's a very, very minimum senior center that actually have it in their contract that were approved. But a lot of the senior centers that put it in their RFP were not approved. So for those that continue with it, we have to cease by December 30th.
We put it in our contract and they accepted it. The numbers are still skewing much higher to the grab and go than what we predicted. And we're trying to get it down to what we predicted. It's a battle. We don't have to stop it, and I can't control where the numbers land. So we are still doing grab and go, but it's going to be a big challenge to get them to get back in and take the congregate meals.
I'm sorry, but I need to say something. Berna is on the call also. Was that something that I should bring up to our next meeting? The advisory board is meeting on December, let me see, December, let me see, I got it on the 14th, that maybe I should bring that to our meeting. Bernard, what do you think? Bernard Arthur, I think she's on this call. She's from the department now for the aging department. It's not for the department for the aging no more. So I will bring that up and just, to see how much information I can gather, because this is the first time that I hear about it.
Yeah, it would be very good, Maria, if you brought it up, because, the commissioner and everybody talks about client focused care, and our members want grab and go. So we're sort of forcing people not to do that, which is counterindicated to what the members want.
All right.
Even if you bring it up, Maria, the problem also is that if they approved it, let's say for Mariah, they approved it, they gave her budget for it. But if they did not approve, let's say ARC, did not get approved for grab and go. They did not add an extra budget for the grab and go. So there's no way with the budget that they approved that we're gonna be able to do congregate and grab and go. So that's their thing, is if they did approve the grab and go and the congregate, they added more money to their budget. If they did not, they never added anything extra to our budget, and they just said, you have to cut whatever is actually cutting your budget down. So that's what happened to us. And I feel it happened the same to D and the Y.
Yep.
Okay, so I'll try to get some information and to make sure that we are really, that's important for most people. So let's see if we can, get them to change that. But, let's hope. I'll bring it up at the next meeting and I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Our next meeting.
And I think a lot of our members are really adamant about not wanting to, especially now that COVID cases are going up again, they don't feel comfortable
Exactly.
in a congregate setting, and grab and go really has been a saving grace for a lot of them, because they're able to get their food and leave. And then, as we all know, a lot of our members have appointments. They have lots of appointments. So sometimes they end up missing lunch because they have an appointment and they can't sit here to eat. So for them, they come and they grab their meal and they run to their appointments and they're able to still eat. Or they get here just as we're closing and they grab their food and they're able to take it home. So it really has been a blessing for a lot of them that are not comfortable or that are very busy. Some of them watch their grandchildren and they can't sit here and eat. So for us, we're really hoping that they will extend it, or that they will give us an amendment to the contract that does allow for grab and go as an option.
And we also forgetting about those seniors that live in rented rooms. They have lunch, but then they cannot take another meal home. So we don't know if they actually have food for dinner. So that's another thing that DFTA didn't take in consideration when we actually put this in the budget, that we have a very high percentage of single men and living in a 1-bedroom rented room, that we know that they don't have any other way of actually getting a dinner if they don't eat in the senior center.
All right. Okay, so let me try to get some information on that, because this is the first I hear
Maria,
about, yeah.
I wanted to add something to this conversation. The other side of this is that DIFTA, and we're all trying to attract younger seniors. Younger seniors are not interested in lunch at the center. So for DIFTA to, count all the meals as a frame of reference, how well all the senior centers are doing is not a good measurement. As we're trying to attract younger people, they want to come to the activities. And they are, I believe. I think the activities are not badly attended.
Okay.
That's all.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry. I had a little emergency. I had to step off the meeting. So I don't know if there was anything that you had asked of me. I just wanted to say that. I'm so apologize.
Hi,
There
Brenda,
was-
this is Maria Luna.
Go ahead.
How are you?
Hi, Maria.
Hi. We were discussing that a new issue that I was just aware, I was just informed about some situations, some centers that have the program Grab and Go that is going to be ending, I understood, at the end of this year, and that the impact that is going to be on seniors, such as the ones that are living in rented room, they don't have facilities and kitchens, they don't have place to warm up the food and things like that, but they don't want to stay on the center for whatever reason. I think that needs to be put on the agenda for our meeting on the 14th to get a little more information and to not scare the people of having no food available for them in the future, which is the most important thing, and see how we can, deal with this situation and take it seriously, because I just realized that this is really something.
Okay, so you need somebody special to do a presentation, or is it that your centers have been reaching out to the program officers and questioning that?
It seems that some of the centers apply, and
yeah, but did some of this, did they reach out to their program officers and ask them?
Right, and was not accepted, and it seems that it's going to be terminated.
Oh, okay.
That's a crisis. This is scary.
So you want me to find out for you? That's it? As I said,
yes, just to get at least a little more information.
Confirmation if it's going to be terminated.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
All right, I'll write it down. Thanks. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Okay. Are there any other, Carol, you have your hand up?
Not talking about Grab and Go. A very interesting thing happened at the center here. I wonder if any of you received calls from your program officers about transportation, about a transportation issue. Did any of you receive a call about that?
What issue exactly, Carol?
Okay. The issue was that my program officer asked me to check if outside of the center there was a sign saying unloading and loading only. And you did. And he asked if we wanted to have a sign put up. There was no such sign. And that would go to the transportation department that would look into it to see if it was practical to put up such a sign outside of your center. So if any of you were not contacted by your program officer and would like to have such a sign, I'm throwing that into your bailiwick of things you might do. I don't know if you're interested. Story that received except from your program officer?
Yes, we did receive the call, and there is a sign on 181st in Fort Washington. And then she wants to check if she can add another one by Audubon, because there's 2 entrances to the building, and it's to make it easier for transportation to pick up and drop off the seniors without getting a ticket.
I guess if you're interested, I guess you would contact your program officer and ask them if you don't have such a sign, if you want one. The transportation department will look into it. Okay.
All right, sounds good. All right, if you don't have any other issues right now, I want to just review the the responses from the capital and expense budget requests that went in, and the prioritizing of the items from all of the committees. You know, were done by all of the, well, almost all of the community board members. I don't think we did as well this year as we've done in past years, but I will just review the aging committee items. This on the capital budget, system-wide upgrade of CB12M area to improve access to connectivity and Wi-Fi. We ranked number 1. The board ranked at number 5, which is actually not bad. Usually things that rank in the top 10 to 15 items are things that are considered. And then we had another item, which is, hold on a second. Many papers. Oh. The second item, renovate as necessary, specifically Star Senior Center and Rainwood Senior Center to comply with safety, ADA, and DFTA regulations. We rated at number 2. The board rated at number 19. So on the expense budget, funding for Wi-Fi access for seniors and CB12, we rated at number 1. The board rated at number 7. Increase the expansion of in the program, expanded in-home services for elderly persons, funding to provide affordable home care, including sliding scale reimbursement, was rated number 13 by the board. Increase funding for senior transportation programs by restoring prior city council funding and expanding access and outreach was rated number 22 by the board. And increase other than personal expense funding for replacement furnishings in senior centers as needed was ranked number 21 by the entire board. So all in all, we didn't do too well, but that happens. And, you know, we will eventually get the report as to how the city will deal with those items. And we'll share that when we have it. Any other old or new business that anybody wants to discuss? Verna, I see a hand up. I'm sorry, Maria, go ahead first.
Maria wants to call this not old business. It's called mature business.
I'm sorry?
Mature business, not old business.
Okay.
Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. I know I talk, I know that I talk too much, but one of the issues that Mary and I were very, forceful about and defending and fighting for transportation. Here comes the winter. Soon we're going to have a snow. We're going to have to go out to the Department of Sanitation to clean up in those areas where there are the bus stops and the people are changing, from the subway to the buses and walking, and not have the areas cleaned up from snow, regularly or deeply, and something that we need to get the Department of Transportation and the sanitation to work together to make sure that the flow of the people have no inconvenience. But let me just tell you one issue that we have. My sister and I we attended an event at a park here, Major Mary's Park, one of the summer scenes, and one person that came from Staten Island because she was, related to one of the musicians. Anyway, to make it sure, she had the what's the name of the transportation that they is used? No, the
Accessory ride?
Yes, accessory ride, and they cancel the transportation. Maybe because they didn't want to pick her up and take her back to Staten Island and things like that. But it had happened to other people being picked and left hanging by the Milstein in the area of the hospital here. And they don't know what to do. The home attendants are sitting there waiting for them to be picked up. And then like 2 hours later, they still don't know what to do. That they call and they, you know, there is a little messy situation. I think we need to pay a little attention to that, especially now in the winter. So I don't know how, you know, whom to direct this into, but that is something that we need to, it should be addressed.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, this was an issue with accessory ride or?
Yeah,
with?
yes, that they are just, that they made the arrangements to be taken or pick up from one place to the other, and then they don't show up, they don't allow the people have to, after they wait for a long period of time, then they realize that the thing has been either canceled or whatever happens. And then, you know, just to secure another transportation, not everybody can afford to get an Uber, you know, that type of thing. So I don't know how we can deal with that.
Mary.
Hold on a second. Let me get the committee first. Richard?
We've been hearing a wealth of concerns about accessoride. And one of the things we just discovered that there is a Fix Accessoride campaign going on that's headquartered at the New York Lawyers for Public Interest. We have a presentation at the A. Philip Randolph Senior Center on 146th Street, at the Arc A. Philip Randolph Senior Center on December 15th at 1 o'clock on this campaign. I'm also glad to share the contact information if people want to look at other ways of connecting into this campaign. I don't have it in front of me.
Will it be a Zoom meeting?
At this point, we don't have it set up as Zoom.
Oh, okay.
The lawyer who has the title campaign coordinator, her name is Iman Ramawi Daster. Iman is
I know that name. Yeah.
What?
I know that name.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the one in the transportation panel that Carmen had, that you were there. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Carmen De La Rosa's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a great connection. And I think the seniors in all of our centers are sort of the natural base. If this campaign makes as much sense as it sounds like it makes, it's something we should be doing our best to engage our seniors in, or seeing who wants to engage with it. And when we asked her if she would come out and do a presentation, she responded really quickly. So I'm assuming that would be her approach anywhere else just as well.
Do you have her contact information?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me
Sorry,
see
send it to me.
I got it, Richard.
You got it? Great.
Yeah, I'm gonna email it to Mary right now.
Mary, the other thing I wanted to respond to, Maria was also talking about sanitation issues. The councilwoman, Carmen De La Rosa, had also done a recent town hall on sanitation with the commissioner there, and that drew about 200 people. I think if we want to follow up on sanitation issues, working with her staff might be a good way to do that, just because they've put a lot of time into sanitation issues recently.
Okay. Thank you for that. Fair enough.
Okay, so I heard you mention, talked about the grab and go meals supposed to be terminated this year. So I called in the absence of knowing exactly the full details of the grab and go from your end. I spoke to the program officer and I was told that if the grab and go meals were not in the older adult center contract, those who had the grab and go during the COVID time, that would be out of it. But if it's in your contract, you will have it. So I don't know if am I saying something that people were questioning, because all I heard, the grab and go meal is going to be terminated at the end of this year. But I just want to say, if you are not aware of it, that those who have the grab and go in their contract, that stays. If it's not in the contract, well, you wouldn't have that anymore. Does that answer the question, or is that something you're aware about? It's just the idea of the grab and go not being in the program spirit.
That's something that the centers did express knowledge about. So, but that's an issue because, like people were saying, there are seniors that attend the senior centers that live in, rented rooms and whatnot, and aren't able to get any other food.
So that applies to
So,
those who are not in the contract that would be losing the grab and go benefit.
Right.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to respond to that piece, and I will follow up again on that.
Okay.
Perfect. That's correct.
Lilliet, did you want to ask something before, or did I?
Just wanted to make a comment regarding Access-a-Ride.
Go ahead.
They use what is known as broker service, which is like hiring like taxis. And sometimes they will leave people because they don't have like the same facility to go through, like the blue and white van. There's a construction, the police will allow them to go first, but the broker service is a regular car. So they have tried to give it to me, and because I'm immunocompromised, I have refused to take it because I don't want to be sitting next to anyone else. So I think maybe you guys should find out what are they getting, because there's 3 services. There's the on-demand, where people can just summon a taxi themselves and it's for themselves. Then the MTA will put you on the broker service when you book your reservation regularly. So they will send you a text with the car information. The blue and white van will not do that. They will just, pick you up at the time that you schedule. And of course, they might be late, but they will not leave the person unless the person doesn't show up for the pickup time. They only can wait 5 minutes. But the regular cars, I don't know the rules about that, but I know they could leave people. And that could be a regular car or sometimes a bus, depending if the person needs the lift.
Well, we are talking about people who are left behind, not being picked up without.
But that's
being
what I
alerted
just said.
to
That's
things.
what I just
It's
said.
not that they don't have, that they show up 5 minutes or that the people are not there.
But Maria, what I just said was that the broker service will either not pick up people or will leave them. They will not show up because it might be a regular car picking up a person. You understand?
Well, okay. Okay, so for those cases that I mentioned, I'm not sure, which is at fault, but there is a problem when someone is sitting for 2 hours.
Exactly.
And being seen that, you cannot be taken and someone is going to be faced with paying a fare of $40 or $50.
But they
to be transported. Okay.
Exactly. Because it has happened before to me and I refuse to take that broker service. They have tried. So.
Let me see if I can get somebody from, Access-a-Ride to speak, that's in charge of Access-a-Ride to come and speak to the committee.
Yeah. All right, good.
All right.
Maybe we could get someone from Access-a-Ride to tell us all the little nuances that may exist.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah, that would be a great idea for us.
Some details.
Yeah.
That we, that we may or may not be aware of.
It's very complicated, I'm sure. But we could get it get someone as a speaker, like, in the future.
I mean, I can give you an example from the past. This is not current information, but I had a friend who had Access-a-Ride and needed to reapply they wanted him to go down. Now, this is a man who was disabled, okay? Couldn't travel on public transportation at all. Wanted him to go downtown, wherever the main office was, to reapply. I mean, is that crazy or what? You know, I mean, if you know, if he could do that, he wouldn't need Access-a-Ride.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, a lot of issues.
Mary, if you do need a contact, I can send you someone to do a presentation on that.
Thank you. I would appreciate that.
That'd be great. We need it.
Just let me know what issues you want that person to cover. So like maybe you guys can send Mary like a list of concerns so I can let that person know.
Well, I guess, you know, full presentation, you know, how to, I don't know, you know, I mean, I don't know how to apply, for instance, you know, how to apply and what the nuances are about, you know, pick up and drop off, and what about going to other boroughs, you know, back and forth.
Maybe re-educating the people how to use this system and how the system can provide, you know, that service to people who, you know, without giving them a heart attack.
Right.
Okay.
All right. There you go. Okay. Anything else?
The presentation will be very long, I think. There's a lot for them to cover.
Got it. All right. We'll have a lot of, you know, choices of presentations, possible presentations. It depends on who I can get a hold of and, you know, when we can get them scheduled. But, you know, I'll be working on it. So, I don't think we have any other issues to discuss at this time.
I want to compliment you on this meeting, because it's good that we don't have a speaker, that other issues are coming up that are of interest to us. So it's very good to throw in a non-speaker once in a while, I would think. I don't know if the rest of you feel that way.
Actually, Maria had been the first one to say to me, don't worry about a speaker. We have lots of things to discuss among ourselves.
And one of the things that working in the same direction.
And one of the things, this is good. One of the things that we left out, because this is an open, you know, forum, make sure that now that the holiday season is here, make sure that people do not overload the electrical equipments and the lights and things like that, so we don't have fires. That we need to make sure that and some of the apartments I hear, especially in the NYCHA buildings, that are not having heat and people are using the ovens to heat the apartment. This is extremely, you know, important for, you know, for seniors and the people who live alone. Just make sure that the electricity is not overloaded, and we don't hear, you know, terrible cases happening during the holiday season or any time. So yes.
We lost someone in a NYCHA fire.
Yes, yes.
On Thanksgiving Day.
Seriously,
Wow.
right. So just have a happy holiday for my account, my side. Happy holidays. Eat a lot, dance a lot, drink a lot. You know, be moderate in your drinking.
And senior centers, let me know when you're having your holiday parties. You know, I'm ready. All right.
Yes, invite us.
So we know that the virtual
Actually,
meetings.
Mary, I'll take the opportunity to say Arkville, Washington and 8th Randolph are both gonna be open Christmas Day. From 11 to 3 to all the community that needs a meal. We're gonna have raffle, food, dancing, everything. Same that we did for Thanksgiving. So we're doing that again on Christmas Day.
That's nice.
Awesome, Dory, especially since it's a weekend. That's fantastic.
It's on Sunday.
Yes, and
we're actually going to be closed for the first time on Christmas. On Christmas
Us too,
Day.
because it's a weekend. Otherwise, we're open.
We normally are open Christmas Day every year, traditionally, historically, but this year we're going to be closed. So, Dory, if you have like a flyer that you have for that day with the information and you want us to give it out, we could do that.
The thing is that if I create a flyer, I'm gonna have more than I'm supposed to be able to.
So I won't send anybody over there.
You can announce it. You can announce it. Because the thing is that we're open to the community. Doesn't matter the age. You can bring your whole entire family with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if my capacity is to the limit, then I won't be able to let anyone else in. But that's why I don't create the flyer. And this is something that we get sponsored by City Meals every year. So
yeah, if you put the information in an email and we'll let
you got it. I'll share it with you. Got it, no problem.
Nice. Lots of food, Dory.
Thank you. Yes, lots of food.
I'm sure that if you only give a candy cane, people will be happy to share. And I think this is the time of sharing goodies and you know, those that don't have families,
we put yourself on your mind.
No, that they really don't care about having a full meal if they are in the company of people, because they are, you know, some people are lonely, they don't, you know, and families are far away and things like that. So it's just not that important, the food, but just the company and the ambience that you can create. And maybe that can just open up something for their future for them, not just on holidays time.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to be having a Hanukkah. I'm sure that Shuli is probably doing the same thing, but we're having a Hanukkah big party luncheon on the 21st of December. So that if you have anyone who's 60 and over and be interested in coming down, just let us know. They do have to register in advance, and we're asking for a $5 contribution per person, because we have music and we have a really nice live classical singer coming, which is going to be really awesome. And then on the 30th, I didn't get to tell you guys, but last year we had our very first annual senior prom. And we asked all of our members to come in their best prom attire. We had a prom king and a prom queen, and it was the best time ever. We went all out, and the members had a great time. So every month we do a themed party. This month is Hanukkah, and then we're having a winter jubilee. Everyone has to dress in all white, and we're going to be giving out gifts to all of our members at the end of the event. So if you have anyone, like I said, that's 60 and over, whether they're already an existing member, if they'd like to register, we have great stuff every month. And we always keep the party going over here in Washington.
Right.
Maybe we'll be there, I'm sure.
We're having
we haven't seen you over here, Maria. We like to party. And bring your sister.
That's
Maria and everybody.
Bring your sister with you.
That's
December
wonderful.
16th.
That's wonderful.
Oops, no.
The 21st is Hanukkah, and December 30th is our Christmas party. Both require registration. I'm sorry, the Hanukkah event is a $3 contribution we're asking for. And the Christmas Winter Wonderland Jubilee is on the 30th, which is going to be like our New Year's last hoorah of 2022. And that one we're asking for a $5 contribution.
A crazy recommendation. Make sure you check those brown bags. So some guys, when someone being illicit liquid.
I walk around like this.
So
they all joke and they tell me that they're like, you don't know what I have in here, and I'm like, okay. I just leave them alone. If I see them wobbling, then I get worried.
Okay, great.
Our Christmas party is the 16th of December, $7 to join, and anybody's welcome.
Right, okay.
Mariah is actually hosting a Hanukkah party on Monday, the 26th. That's a $4 ticket. And we are having, it's not really a party and there's no sign up required, but we will be ushering in, we're doing cheers to the new year. We have to do a bit early because we're not open on weekends. So we will be ushering in 2023 on Thursday afternoon, whether it's 28th or 29th, and I'm not sure but it's Thursday and there's no tickets required. We're going to have some non-alcoholic champagne, sing Old Lang Syne, and we're going to do a piano bar type vibe where people can request songs.
All right.
So maybe with my crazy sense of humor, we could put on the patch the new thing on the media. Put the swinging seniors of Washington Heights. Check those places, and let's see what happens.
Okay.
Anyway, so happy. I'm sure I'm taking a lot of your time, but anyway, happy.
Okay, Maria, hold on. I've got a hand up. Cheyenne.
Hi, everyone. I'd like to share some programming offered at the Action Center, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. So we have a couple of programming I thought the group may be interested in. So we have a virtual walking group, which will allow folks to join via Zoom and get their heart rate up from their home. It's Wednesdays from 10 to 11. And also, we also have that same program in person, except it is in Harlem. But if you do find yourself in that area, there's 3 of them. And to accompany that, there's blood pressure screenings, which are of interest. Second to that, I know we were briefly kind of discussing COVID. We do have PPE available. So if CB12 or any of the senior centers or any other partners are in need of test kits or masks or hand sanitizers, I don't see a chat feature, but I can share my email somehow and we can coordinate picking up any PPE or test kits that anyone might need. Lastly, we do have a new program, which is nicotine replacement therapy, where we give participants a month of nicotine replacement treatments, such as nicotine patches. And that happens on Tuesdays between 2 and 4, again, in East Harlem, which I know is a trek, but it is a resource. So yeah, those are my updates. I can try to share if there's a chat feature in my email or if there are any questions.
You know what, if you can put it together, I can forward it out to everybody. I can send it out.
Okay, awesome.
Send it, if you send it to me.
Okay, I don't know if I have your email. I could jot it down.
It's M as in Mary, C Anderson 725@gmail.com.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Stephanie?
Oh, I would like to inform you guys that we're gonna have our Christmas celebration December 23rd, but we're trying to change it for the 22nd to accommodate a Christmas show that we're gonna have sponsored by Hope Charity Organization. I'm sure Lady will inform you and confirm when we're gonna have the Christmas celebration.
Stephanie, you're muted, and we also, for some reason, it's your speaking is not clear. I don't know, but you're muted. There we go. Okay.
I think I'm having a problem with the microphone. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Have you?
So if you could just repeat what you said.
So initially, we were having the Christmas celebration December 23rd. But because the band that we wanted them to come, they're not available for that day. So we're gonna have to prepare for the 22nd. And the 23rd, we're gonna have a Christmas show sponsored by Hope Charity Organization, where kids are gonna come to do a Christmas show for the seniors.
Okay. Thank you. All right. On that note, I want to wish everybody happy holidays. Happy, safe, healthy, and whatever comes along with that. Our next meeting will be January 5th, 2023 at 10:30 a.m. So I hope to see all of you then. And perhaps I'll see some of you at some of the parties. Richard, yes. You're muted. You're muted.
I think we should also end with a thank you to you, Mary, for 12 months, a full year of good meetings. Not an easy thing to do at this point in time, and absolutely the most together of CB12 committees. Thank you very much for what you do to make us happen.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that feedback, Richard. And it's been my pleasure to to get involved and do this. And, you know, it's because, you know, I think that I've been okay with doing this, that I agreed to be co-chair of WICOA, because without, you know, this introduction to committee leadership, I don't know if I would, you know, have been willing to take on more responsibility, but you know, it's a good thing. It keeps me active. You know, I am a senior, definitely. But you know, I try to stay involved in the community also as much as I can, which, you know, in my working days, I wasn't able to do. I really didn't know anything about the community except my immediate area and my work area. But, you know, I've gotten so much knowledge from everybody I've worked with. And, you know, this has been a fantastic opportunity. And I appreciate when I, you know, get positive feedback. I also appreciate when I get other feedback that's maybe not so positive, but helpful information. So thank you very much. And hopefully we'll have a good start to the new year and move on. So I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting. Richard makes the motion and I see James seconded. Okay, thank you.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Happy
Bye,
holidays.
everybody.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.